Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchists Dave. Today I'm hanging out with this nerd.
Nerdarchists Ted. How you doing this fine and lovely evening, sir?
Doing great. I'm ready to talk about some Winter Walker Ranger from the Unearthed Arcana 2025 Forgotten Realms subclasses. All right, man, I'm totally vibing with the feel already, but of course, Nerdarchy did create the Stygian Ranger, which was a ranger that survived dying from hypothermia or almost died from hypothermia or something of that nature, and then kind of comes back. So we're already vibing with this before it was a thing.
All right. Now, my only problem, to me, this paragraph reads the way a lot of other, shall we say, less experienced gamers write their backstories. I don't feel like when you compare what the core ranger of 2024 is bringing to the table, that it's going to bring enough to match the verbiage that has just been set forth.
So you're saying the 2024 Ranger doesn't live up to the subclass so far?
Yes. Now, at its core, at its lore, absolutely love the way this reads. Now, having read a lot of Forgotten Realms novels and spending a lot of time in Icewind Dale, I don't get the paranormal phenomenon of Icewind Dale.
Yeah, I think that has to do with the adventure they wrote for Icewind Dale. It was more horror themed. Now they're trying to shoehorn everything into that.
So maybe there is more out there than what I have since paid attention to.
Like you played in that, right? Rime of the Frost Maiden?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're vibing on, really.
Okay. Well, I didn't fully get the horror of it because I did a shortened version. We were already kind of powerful by the time we got there and what have you.
Horror is hard in D&D to begin with.
That is true.
Yeah, you build characters that are designed to kill monsters. A lot of part of horror is being afraid of the monsters. Well, we kill the monsters.
Yeah. So
we are the monsters.
I don't think Icewind Dale brings the same horror aspect that Ravenloft does. So playing Ravenloft, I can feel the vibe, and I'm not trying to bring any kind of slight to the DM who ran Rime of the Frost Maiden. It was a different feel of a game than what it is when we're playing Strahd.
Next time I see him, I'll be like, Ted says you're not scary. So jumping into it, level 3, you get Frigid Explorer, frost resistance, so you have resistance to cold, polar strikes. When you hit a creature with a weapon, you can deal an extra D4 cold damage on the target, which can take this extra damage only once per turn. The extra damage ignores resistance to cold. When you reach a ranger level 11, the extra damage increases to a die 6. So you get some more damage to stack onto your hunter's mark.
All right. Let me break polar strikes down a moment. When you hit a creature with a weapon strike, you deal an extra D4 cold damage, and the creature can only take the damage once a turn. So does that mean if I hit 2 creatures in one turn, they each can take a die 4? Normally, it would say you can only use this die 4 once per turn. This specifically says
the target. Yeah, I would read it that way as well.
This ranger is designed to spread out damage.
Well, if you're playing in my game, Ted, I give it to you. You can spread out the damage.
So I like that aspect of, well, we're going to do something different with this guy. Level 3 Hunter's Rime. Ice rimes you and your prey, protecting you and slowing them. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your ranger level. Additionally, while a creature is marked by Hunter's Mark, it can't take the disengage action. That's cool that it's building upon Hunter's Mark. Sure, you're a ranger. You're probably going to be casting this a lot. So just getting additional effects, pretty cool.
Yeah, temporary hit points. And it's not a small amount of temporary hit points either. You're looking at 4 to 13 right from the get-go. So that, especially at 3rd level, that can neutralize an attack on you.
Absolutely.
And also those pesky goblins that always want to disengage.
Stop. You're not getting away. Level 3, you're also going to get your Winter Walker spells. Level 3, you get Ice Knife. 5 is Pass Without a Trace. 9, Remove Curse. 13 is Ice Storm. And 17th level, Cone of Cold. A ranger being able to cast Cone of Cold, that's badass. I love it.
Yeah, Ice Storm, Ice Knife, Pass Without. These are all bangers, right? Remove Curse, but
it fits the horror.
Also, Remove Curse, it's one of those things. It's like insurance, right? Insurance is useless until you actually need it. 7th level, Fortifying Soul. Your experience surviving harrowing environments allows you to bolster your allies. In addition to yourself, when you finish a short rest, you can choose a number of creatures you can see equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum 1. Chosen creatures regain hit points equal to a die 10 plus your ranger level and have as advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the frightened condition for 1 hour. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish. I mean, a little extra healing. This one feels a little weak to me.
I would agree. I would honestly be like, the advantage on the frightened condition or ending it, I would literally just be like, until you rest again. Like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why your ranger is healing when you short rest. That doesn't particularly fit to me. I feel like they're like, well, what else can we just shoehorn into this? Okay, well, a shove.
You're hardy. The people around you should heal better because you're hardy.
Level 11, Chilling Retribution. When a creature hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to force the creature to make a wisdom save. On a failed save, the target has the frightened condition until the end of your next turn. While frightened, the target's speed is reduced to 0. You can use his reaction other times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So all in all, not bad. It ties into the raw, you're scary.
Yeah, and it's very much this subclass is about locking your enemies down. So you have that going on. I mean, this is okay.
It's not
bad,
horrible.
but it's also 11th level too. So I feel like so far, I feel like we peaked at 3rd level.
Sure, you got a lot of great stuff, but let's see if level 15's Frozen Haunt seals the cake. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you can adopt a ghostly, snowy form. This form lasts until the spell ends, and while you're in this form, you gain the following benefits. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest or expend a level 4 spell slot, no action required. Frozen Soul, you have immunity to cold damage. When you first adopt this form at the start of each of your subsequent turns, each creature of your choice within 15-foot emanation originating from you takes 2d4 cold damage, and partially incorporeal. You have immunity to the grappled, prone, and restrained conditions. You can move through creatures and objects as if it were difficult terrain. You take a die 10 force damage if you end your turn inside another object or form. If the form ends and you're inside a creature, you are shunted to the nearest unoccupied space.
So the biggest thing is like you're just doing damage to things that are near you.
Yeah. So again, it goes with that aspect of you're spreading out damage. That's what I'm looking for. Being able to get immunity to cold and immunity to conditions. It's again, every time you're casting Hunter's Mark, which is stacking on top of your Hunter's Rhyme ability. So you're going to want to be doing these things, and it lasts while the spell is going on. So if you've got a way to extend that spell or what have you, you have the ability to kind of make this thing, you get more use out of your abilities. So I feel this subclass really doubles down on Hunter's Mark. So if you're a ranger that's not using it, don't take this subclass because most of your abilities that are good are relying on that.
Well, yeah, you eventually extend your Hunter's Mark out pretty far, like 8 hours. So technically you could keep this thing going for a while.
Indeed.
So thematically, this is really cool. It starts out strong, kind of starts to peter out in the middle, and then gets good again towards the end. Thematically, it's very much all about locking down opponents while you yourself are unhindered. Is the vibe that I get from it, is what I'm feeling going on.
I would agree.
So thanks for hanging out with us, and until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.